How many sort of agree social media has been a little weird this past year? Maybe you're having a tough time getting attention. Maybe you're having a tough time on which platform to focus on or the kinds of content to focus on. Michelle and I were preparing for this earlier, and it was funny because we're talking about how, like, got to get people doing reels and Facebook Live, and they should do TikTok, and they should do stories, and they should post what they're eating, and they should do this, that, and the other thing. Oh, and they should be connecting with people, responding to comments. And we're like, it's like overwhelming just when her and I are talking about what we do. It's a big responsibility. It's daunting. It's stressful. It's complicated. Or how about the fact that some of you maybe you have social media pretty dialed in, but it's just harder to get attention. Your curiosity posts aren't doing as well as they once did. You're getting less people on your live videos. I get it. So that's why we wanted to put this training together. Anyway, Michelle, let's talk about it. Let's talk social media. And again, excited to have you on.
Really, the biggest thing right now with social media is like the algorithm is a little bit different than it used to be, but that's just right now. I mean, that could change in the blink of an eye. Right. And honestly, it's separation season. So the people who sit back and take their foot off the gas, right now, what you're doing is where you're going to be in 90 days. So when we're coming up to the holidays, where people want extra income, where people literally are wanting to spend money on products and they're like, it's a new year, I'm doing this, I'm taking care of myself, you have to have your foot on the pedal right now. You can't get discouraged by how many people are on your video, how many people on your reels, and how many people are commenting, because it's totally different than it was last year for me, but that's just right now in this season. It's a busy season for people, and that's going to change. So you have to make sure that you are showing up on social media. John asked me this weekend, so out of 3 platforms, where are you thriving the most? I utilize every platform that I can. Why wouldn't you? So Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. I go live. If you didn't know, so many people see that I have a breakfast show, but I'm not doing that 3 times a day. I have 3 devices, whether you have to borrow one of your kids' tablets, use your phone, maybe use your partner's phone if they're home, and just go all live all at once. And maybe it's not the breakfast show for you. Maybe for you, it's you putting on your makeup and just talking about what your day looks like. Like, I'm going into work today. I'm a nurse. I work from this shift to this shift. Just having relatability with people out there who can have a commonality with you. And that's the first step to it. So Instagram right now is probably the best platform, I would say, for me. That's just for me that I've noticed, I've tracked. And the thing that we forget is that it doesn't have to even be 20, 30, 40, 50-minute live videos. I mean, it can be you just waking up in the morning and sharing that you're reading a personal development book right now. It talks about habits and getting back to the basics of habits. And what stuck out to you the most was this. And why that's important to you is because maybe you're struggling with this and it's something you want to work on. And you can ask at the end of your live, like, what is it that you struggle with? Like, what is it that you put yourself on the back burner with? So you really have to get back to stop comparing yourself to other people. You have to stop looking at the number and try to look at the good in everything. Yes. What about those 2 people? Those 2 people are stop, drop, and looking at your live video. I'll start going live and have 100 people on. By the end of it, there's 18. But those 18 people are valuable. They matter, because there were things 5 years ago that worked really well, but they're not working right now. And I think that's something that we need to learn as entrepreneurs, whether it's day 1 or day 15. You have to pivot. You have to look at what it is that people are doing who's number 1 leadership in their company on the boards. What are they doing? How are they showing up? What's the content they're posting? Don't compare yourself to them. Don't even look at the likes, the hearts, any of that. None of it matters. And that's something that really helped with someone that I was talking to this weekend. Like, marry the process, divorce the results, the people who are on your content. I don't even care if they're friends and family. You don't have to sit there and reach out to them trying to sell them your product or service, but something you're doing is inspiring them. Keep the conversation going. You build more of a relationship with someone talking to them at least once a week. That's something you should write down. Go to your stories right now. Someone showed me yesterday, I've got 18 people. I said, click on every single one and screenshot it to me. It'd been 3 weeks. It'd been 3 months. What's going on? That's like walking up to someone at a soccer game and seeing them, and you have a huge conversation with them, and then you just walk past them and you never have a conversation for 3 months. How you get to know someone is by starting conversations with them. And you're probably thinking to yourself, but how do I start a conversation? I want you to go to their Facebook, their Instagram, wherever it's at, and I want you to see what they posted the last 7 days. And I want you to just reach out and I want you to say something like, hey, Brittany, you flashed on my newsfeed today, which I'm super excited about. I see that you got a new puppy. It's absolutely adorable. What's the breed and how are you doing? And that conversation can go so far because guess what you can do these days? You can go to something like ChatGPT and say, listen, I'm trying to build a relationship with someone. Here's how I'm starting the conversation. I'm going to come back and forth with you and share our entire conversation. And I want you to let me know when it's the right time to pivot with blank product. And it will literally tell you that. And I help people do this and share with people, and John, and people are like, aha moment. Exactly with stories. What if every day you went to your stories, everyone else's stories out there, you just start with the A. Who cares that they're not on your stories? You go to your friends list. I didn't know if you could do this. Someone was in the industry for 6 years and didn't know they could sort their friends. You can search friends, newest for first, oldest last. What if you started with the oldest last? And every day, 5 people, if they have a story, you just start a conversation. And you're probably like, Michelle, but I don't know how to, because I heard that so much this weekend. You can literally go to ChatGPT and say, this person on their story is at an amusement park on a roller coaster. And I don't want to just comment on this story. I want to open up and have a conversation with them. What can I say? And it literally spits it out to you what you can say. So there is no more like she's good at conversation. You have to stop telling yourself that you're not good at something. Those words would never even come out of my mouth because there's things in this industry that I struggle with. There are things that John struggles with, but he's not running around putting that out in the earth. You have to stop doing that because what you say is what you bring more of. But guess what? If you're not showing up right now today and doing this, when the holidays do hit and they're ready to put their foot down, they're going to go to someone else.
If you're saying, oh, well, it's harder to get attention, or there's so much competition now, right? There's so many people posting, and how do I stand out? Relationships. But you can't sit back twiddling your thumbs, waiting for the people, hopefully posting and praying. Hopefully someone asks you, my product or business. And then the worst part is, Michelle, and I know you did this too, we go to your page and there's no valuable content. I have no idea how you make money. There's nothing that is intriguing or thought-provoking or making me engage. And by the way, if you're like not sure if that's the case, go look at your engagement. Now, if you've only been posting or doing videos for like a week, that's different. But if you've been doing the same stuff for like 6 months and your engagement sucks, you should probably pivot. Maybe step into your authenticity. Maybe you're not being as transparent or vulnerable as you could or should be. The one thing that Michelle is so good at, she's very consistent in her messaging. But what you don't know is it took her months to figure that out. She tested out different conversations and strategies and had this no quit relentlessness. She just wasn't going to quit. She wasn't going to stop. She was freaking relentless and she figured it out. And the thing is that's crazy. You just answered that question in the beginning about like what platform's better for you. You told me it was Instagram, but you said if I would have asked that same question 6 months ago, you would have said Facebook or TikTok. Yes?
Yes.
So this is the thing. This is why, now I know some of us are like, oh my gosh, going live on 3 platforms. But if you think about it, it's the same conversation, right? It's the same video. It's just 3 different devices, or you can use like StreamYard. Like right now we're live in a bunch of places using StreamYard. I'm not saying you guys should do that right away. It's a more advanced strategy, like maybe start on one platform and then branch out, but it's the same conversation, right? Nadia creates a TikTok video, and that same video she uses for Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. So it's not actually adding on that much more work. You just have like a primary platform where most of your traction is. And then once you figure out that conversation like Michelle did, you can branch out. So I just wanted to point these conversations out because we do talk about these same things over and over again. And I love that you mentioned the friends list, how you can sort it from newest and oldest. I figured that out like a couple years ago. And it was so funny because like, I think I knew and then I forgot. And then I started doing it again, not because I was trying to start conversations, but I was actually trying to delete people. And it was getting so like tough. You know, when you max out your friends on Facebook and for years you're deleting people and cleaning up your friends list, it gets harder and harder over time, like to find people that you even want to delete. But the easiest ones to delete are the ones that are not responding to messages. They don't post on social, because let's keep it real. If we're trying to use social media to build our business, we should probably focus on people like Michelle said, that are already posting stories. They're already posting something on their Facebook or for that matter, Instagram or TikTok, because it is a little easier to work with someone that already does post, that already uses social media in that way. But at the same time, you can reach out to people even if they don't post.
What if you did right now, 10 people a day, you start a new conversation with, whether you want to just go to them like John said and be like, hey, Brittany, happy Monday. How are you doing? What have you been up to? You don't have to know these people. That's not, if they're on your friends list, that is not cold messaging. So you have to be the one that takes that initiative. How do you get better at it? You just do it. When I started going live, it was nothing compared. It's nothing like, I don't even talk about the same things that I talk about today. You will find your purpose once you get out there and just start doing something. You're an umbrella. You have, how many pieces of the umbrella are holding the umbrella up? Who are you? And that was something that was really confusing to me when I got started. Like, what is my niche? All that matters is, what are you? Yeah. Do you like to work out? Do you like to garden like Nadia? Do you like to go on walks? Do you have step challenges? Are you a single mom? Are you a teacher? Are you, what, do you go to church every Sunday? Those are your pillars. It does not have to be one thing. And I think something else you need to remember, it doesn't have to be since you started your company. So many of you are like, well, I don't have weight loss with my product. Did you ever lose 20 pounds? Did you ever lose 5 pounds? How did you do it? Share that with the world. You don't have to, less is more. You're not lying to them. When they go to their stories, they're going to be like, wow, I want to do what she's doing now because she did something that I'm trying to do.
Go follow the top people in your company. Go see what they're posting. Not just the top earners. Look at the top promoters, the people that are putting in the most, like, new customers, new recruits, people that are really good at social. You have to figure out what works for you. Stop trying to figure it out up here and start figuring out through just creating content, put yourself out there. And that authenticity is also important. You can't talk like me. You shouldn't try to talk like Nadia. She's from Russia. She's got the accent, right? It works for her, but that's her, right? So you have to share things that are valuable to you. Figure out what are those things you could talk about all the time.